Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a brand new edition of Big Time Sports. My name is Joe Dunn. Here's your invitation to stay with us for the next 25 minutes as we talk high school softball. That's right, it's softball and baseball season all over Stark County, and we have a great guest today because he's excited to begin his first year as head coach over at North Canton Hoover High School, head coach Scott Snyder. And Coach, it may be March Madness out there, but it's softball madness over at Hoover's. You guys get ready to open up the season. Before we do that, though, let's do a quick review of last year. I think you played in the district title game, lost to Riverside. Tell us about that experience last year and maybe some of the young ladies who are back this year off that team.
You know, last year we had a pretty good seed. We went up and chose to go north for the sectionals and districts. And we made it to district finals, played Riverside. We did beat them in the regular season and had a lot of confidence going into that championship game, but unfortunately they had a couple things go their way. You know, it didn't come out the way we wanted or the outcome we wanted, but the experience we took away from that, it's definitely driving us these last 4 weeks since the season has started. We're definitely using that as some fuel to look forward to this new season, especially with the state changing and going to 7 divisions.
Right.
64 teams in Division 1. Riverside this year is Division 2. We're in Division 1. So we might not see them in the tournament, but we will see them regular season. Our schedule is fantastic this year, and we return a real solid core of players. We're real excited.
Tell us about some of the young ladies. We'll meet 3 of them here a little bit later in the program, but tell us about some of the players that are coming back. Tell us about your pitching staff. High school softball, anybody watching knows you really need one good starter. You'd like to have a couple, but what's it look like in the starting pitching?
We are blessed having 2 returning starters. They've been with us for 3 years. They're seniors this year. We have Ella, who's going to rotate in and out with Summer as pitching. Ella's a right-hander, Summer's a left-hander, so it's a great opportunity to platoon them throughout the season. They've both had several honors in the past as sophomores and juniors, and there's no doubt they are going to be the driving force for us this year. To back them up, we have senior Sienna Cush, who's behind the plate, and you'll meet all 3 of them here soon. Sienna is dynamite. She can call a great game. She knows the game of softball very well. She has an older sister playing at UConn right now, so softball is in her blood. So it's nice having those 3 be outstanding leaders for us. We do have another senior this year on the team. She will platoon back and forth between center field and right field, Alexis Greenhour. So it's great having 4 seniors who are going to be leaders for us and take over things as we progress through the season. Great
tradition over at Hoover. Everybody knows the great tenure that Coach Goodpasture had. And I think you guys have won, what, 6 state championships? Or is it 8, I think, in the past 20 or some years?
We've won 8 total. Jeff Height had 2 of them, and then Coach Goodpasture had 6 of them.
Yes.
And yes, the tradition is very good. When people come to play us or we travel to their fields, they definitely bring their A game when they know Hoover's their opponent.
You have a great feeder system over there with the youth softball program, and you mentioned a couple of young ladies who are freshmen are going to get some quality minutes this year. Tell us about the youth program and what you really get when these young ladies become eligible as freshmen.
You know, the youth program in North Canton is really starting to step up these last couple of years. They're getting the travel ball girls in some bigger tournaments, working with them a whole lot different and a whole lot better than what we have had in the past. We did have some youth clinics this winter, and we brought in the North Canton rec teams and the travel teams to our facility, and our varsity players worked with them, and that was awesome to have them do that. So anytime you can get a feeder system coming through and bring freshmen into a program rich as ours, it's outstanding to have.
Yeah, it sounds like you monitor that youth program pretty well to know what they're coaching, what they're teaching, and maybe some of the young ladies that you look down the line and say, hey, I can't wait till I get these in the program.
You know, we did a fairly good job with it in the past, but these last 4 months since taking over, I have really put a lot of time and effort into meeting the coaches, learning more about them, and obviously I teach middle school phys ed at Hoover, and I get to see these girls a lot in the gym. So I know who's coming up and what's happening, and it's great having that little extra edge, a little extra step, getting to know the players.
I know you open up the season against Boardman on March 24th, but you mentioned you challenged this team because you really beefed up the schedule. Tell us about some of the non-conference teams you're going to be facing this year.
This schedule this year, I got, of course, 27 games. A little downside of it for us is we only have 10 home games, so we will be traveling.
Oh, they bounce back to 5 here and get them at home?
Yes, it will be bouncing back, which will be nice to have that following year. Unfortunately for our seniors, they don't get to have too many home games, so experience their last year. But we have Boardman on the schedule, Mentor, Painesville, Riverside, Triway. We're playing up in the Painesville area. We have a team out of Michigan coming in to play us. We have Anthony Wayne, who's always good in the state of Ohio. We have Walsh Jesuit. So not only is the Federal League a grind for us, our non-league schedule is very, very strong as well.
How much do you monitor all the outstanding programs in the state to know who to schedule? I'm assuming that the word gets out who the good pitchers are. You see them maybe during travel ball. You try and schedule those good pitchers and teams in the challenger group. So once you get in the tournament, they're experienced in seeing good pitching.
The biggest thing for us is, yes, you try to look around the state to see who has that returning pitcher, who's a senior, maybe going to be a junior next year. You always want to have a team, the teams on your schedule that have great pitching, because no doubt it prepares you for the end of the season, and that's what we're all about. It is a marathon for us. Obviously, we want to win the league. We want to play well and have a great storied season, but ultimately it's the end of the year that we look forward to, and hence the scheduling we do not only this year but in the years to come. It
seems like when we talk to all the softball coaches, either here in the program or out when we're covering games for Big Time Sports, seems like all the young pitchers coming up always have pitching coaches. So when you get them, they're pretty well established. How much coaching can you put into it once you really get these young ladies in your program that have already had coaching maybe since they were in grade school?
You know, you really pretty much turn them loose. They're with their pitching coaches.
They're ready to go.
They're ready to go. I do have a pitching coach who calls the pitches for us, you know, in our scrimmages, and we'll do it in the games. But they're more than capable of shaking off and doing something that they're more comfortable with. It's not a set pattern for us. We roll with what we have. The biggest thing with pitching is trying to get them to be a little bit, maybe we'll say, more mentally tough.
Gotcha.
And I'm one of those people who
sometimes they can be a little fragile, but they've never been hit before. All of a sudden they're getting banged around a little bit.
Exactly, and they need to battle their way through things at times and learn from the experiences they have. But you know, having two that we do this year, it's an easy replacement if something starts to go a little sideways for us.
Tell us about the Federal League. Who are the teams you got to beat to win a championship?
You know, we just had a great discussion on this today in the locker room before we took the field for practice, and there's no doubt Lake is going to present a serious challenge for us this year. I think Green has a lot of kids coming back to the program that may have sat out a year or two, and Green is going to be difficult. But, you know, our rival all the time in Federal League, you would think it would be Jackson because that's what people are born with here in North Canton, but our rival is Perry. So Scott Doherty runs a great program at Perry, and that's something that they get up for our games, we get up for playing them, and the league's just loaded. It really is top to bottom.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of excitement for fans over in North Canton and all around the Federal League. Get out and support your local softball teams. Should be a great year. Coach, stay put. We're going to start bringing up these young ladies from Hoover to talk about the season, their expectations, and what they're going to do to get ready for a championship run right after this on Big Time Sports.
Ready for adventure? The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
You're only as good as your people. And what we've done here is that we've created a culture where people flourish.
We don't want it to be a transaction. We want it to be something where there's a consultative approach, a relationship that allows us to really, one, ensure our customer the right way, but then two, to let them understand the value of getting to work with us.
It's an extreme amount of satisfaction for this team that we have right now. We've developed a team that is solely based on relationships.
Sometimes life is just not okay. But guess what? That's okay.
And the pain you feel today won't always be the pain you feel tomorrow.
And no temporary situation is worthy of a permanent decision.
And if we give life a chance, we can change. We can grow.
Because it's not the absences of hard times that makes life worth living.
It's the presence of hope.
Okay, welcome back to Big Time Sports as we continue our conversation with Hoover head softball coach Scott Snyder, beginning his very first year as head coach over with the Vikings. And what a program they have had through the years. As you missed our first segment, 8 state championships, 6 with former coach Goodpasture. And you got a young lady sitting next to you who I know is hoping to make it number 9 this year, and have a great remembrance of her seasons over at Hoover. Why don't you introduce this young lady and what she means to the program?
Joe, this is senior Sienna Cush. She's our starting catcher. She's very legit. She is very good behind the plate. She knows the game inside and out. She can take on the duties of calling pitches if needed. She moves the players around the field at different points in time if she thinks things need to be adjusted. And you know, when you have someone like this, she's been a 3-year letter winner for us. She's been around, she knows the game, and very, very valuable. She's a team captain this year, and we're very excited and lucky to have her in our program.
Well, welcome to the program. It sounds like you're almost like a coach on the field. Tell us about preparation now for your senior year. You know everybody in this team pretty well. You either played with them or watch them progress through the program. Tell us about your expectations for this group going into your senior year.
Right, so a lot of these girls that I play with, I've played travel ball with at some point. A lot of it takes just putting in your own time, and we have a really well-knitted group this year, so I think we should be pretty good off.
We mentioned a disappointing loss last year in the district title game to Riverside. When did your preparation start after that game for this final year of high school softball? When did it start? Right. I know you got to take the 48-hour rule and forget about it after 48 or whatever it is, but when did you start mentally getting ready for this year?
Right. To be honest with you, maybe 6 days after I had my first tournament for travel ball, so that was not very big break for me, but no, I love what we do, and it's important to put in the time to be prepared for the year ahead.
Let's go back to when it all started for you as a softball player. Who was the first person to maybe put that bat in your hands or put a glove in your hands and you learned softball, you fell in love with the game? Go back and tell us about how that happened.
So as Coach Snyder mentioned before, my sister plays at UConn, but originally my dad put the bat in me and my sister's hands, so he was definitely a big part in my journey.
When did you feel like you could be pretty good at this game? I mean, when you put that bat in your hands, that's a challenge. There had to be some ups and downs learning the game. When did you finally say, you know, I think I could be pretty good at this?
Maybe when I was 14, I really started getting serious about the sport. A little bit before that, but definitely that year was a big year for me.
Have you always been a catcher? And tell us about how that happened.
Yeah, so again, my dad was the primary guy for this whole thing. My sister's the pitcher, I'm the catcher, so he kind of did it on purpose so that I could catch my sister once he was getting too old for it.
You know, being a catcher, you're in every pitch, everything that happens. You can see it, you can visualize it, you call pitches. Is that the fun of the game for you, behind the plate, calling games and kind of maneuvering strategy around as you play?
Yeah, I love being the commander of the field. It's definitely, communication is key for the game of softball. So being a part of every play is definitely better than being in the outfield, not doing much. I like catching better, for sure.
Yeah, tell us about your relationship with the pitching staff, because you have to be in the same wavelength. I mean, you've got to, if they're not, you've got to go out and talk to them a little bit and get them back centered to go. But tell us about that and how you establish that relationship with your pitching staff.
Yeah, so both our pitchers, Ella and Summer, I've played travel ball with, so I've spent time on the high school field and off the high school field with them, so that's definitely a blessing for sure, knowing them so well. They're also my friends, so having a good relationship like that is good, and it's almost like we can talk with eye contact, so I really, half the time, don't have to say much. When can you figure out what's working for them that day? If the rise is working, maybe the changeup and the drop. Can you tell in pregame warm-ups if it's on that day for them, or how does that work for you? Yeah, usually like 10 minutes within their pitching warm-up, I can tell how the game's going to go for them. You have to go out and talk to them once in a while and say, hey, maybe your rise isn't working today, let's back off that a little bit, or how does that work? Yeah, so I'll communicate with our pitching and catching coach pre-game to see how things are going, how things are working, and if it's not working out well for them, I'll go out and talk to them a little bit. What about the art of setting up hitters? Now, you've been around this league for 3 years, you know just about everybody that plays. At least the veterans who are coming back this year, you have a pretty good book on what they like to hit and what they can hit.
Do you have a feel now when you go into a game about setting up hitters and what you can do to get them out?
Yeah, so a lot of our returning Federal League players, we have charts. We keep charts on.
Okay.
So I'll review our charts before the games. Even though I played travel ball with a lot of the girls, I know what they can and can't hit. So it's a big blessing for me to be so versatile in that area.
Final question, what are your plans after Hoover softball? Your sister's playing at UConn. What are your plans?
I'm attending Ohio University to
Going to be a Bobcat down there in Athens.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. You're going to play for some Mid-American Conference softball, which is really good softball. But thanks for coming over today. Best of luck. Look forward to watching you play this year.
Thank you.
Coach, stay put because we're going to bring up another young lady to talk Hoover softball right after this.
Ready for adventure? The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Certified by the American Lighting Association, Furbay's Light Shop is your go-to for all lighting needs, residential, commercial, or industrial. Our experts assist with every detail, from bulb size and fixture type to designing layouts. Visit us for hands-on displays showcasing various fixtures, or log in to furbay.com/lightshop. Let us help you visualize the perfect light for your space. Whether you need advice or want to explore lighting options, stop by or log in to Furbay's Light Shop today and see how we can brighten your project.
Welcome back to Big Time Sports. We are talking Hoover softball as they get ready to open up the season on March 24th at home against a good Boardman team. The very next night, they'll begin Federal League play, and it'll be a good one. How about an opening Federal League game against the rival Perry Panthers? That should be a full house for that one. And Coach, what about the facilities over at Hoover? The fans that are watching, you like to get over and watch your team play. What about the facilities? How do you get there?
Well, we're right across the street from the high school on 7th Street. Our facility truly is first-rate, top-notch. We built it not too many years ago, and it's a great place for you to watch a softball game. The grandstand behind it, behind home plate, is enormous. Great spectators come in to watch. You can watch from the outfield. We just put in a new hitting facility.
Great.
It's not even a year old. It's outstanding. We've showed it to a lot of coaches and teams around the area, and they're very jealous of what we have because it is very college-esque and how it's designed and what's in it. So that's something we're very proud of because it's definitely helped us in these last 4 months over the winter time.
Exactly.
And helped us improve to where we need to be.
I know Big Time Sports loves to come over there and televise games. They'll be over there to bring you a lot of Hoover softball games and a lot of Federal League games this year. But Coach, you got a young lady sitting to your left you're excited about because she's going to be a big component of your team. Why don't you introduce her?
This is Summer McCall. She's a senior pitcher for us. She's a lefty, which is kind of unique in the game of softball.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to know, or I don't want to say if she's our number one, because I think at this point in time with us, we have a number 1A and a 1B. Her and Ella will rotate every game. They can relieve each other. She's an outstanding athlete, outstanding pitcher, and had a tremendous sophomore season for us, good junior season for us last year. She's a great natural leader and someone that's going to really do some serious work for us on the mound this year.
Well, Sarah, welcome to the program. Sounds like you are ready for a outstanding senior year. Yeah. Tell us about your progression as a pitcher, how much stronger you've gotten since you were pitching for the first time, maybe down in grade school. Now you're a senior. Tell us about the arm strength and how that's developed to make where you are right now.
Yeah, so I've been taking pitching lessons since I was around like 10.
10 years old you started?
Yeah, so I've been working with Don Thacker, and he's been a really big mentor for me, and we do all these drills to help me get stronger. So.
Was it always pitching, or you just like softball and somebody directed you to pitching because they thought you had some potential?
It's always been pitching for me, mostly. But one time, like my grandma, we went to go watch a game when I was really little, and I saw the pitcher, and I actually said, I do that. And so she kind of knew that I was going to be a pitcher. So.
There's been a lot of great pitchers come through the Hoover program during the years. Is there any pitchers you kind of looked up to and kind of patterned yourself after? I know you're a lefty. I'm not sure how many lefties have been at Hoover, but tell us about some of the young ladies you looked up to coming up as a youngster.
Yeah, so I definitely looked up to Tara Thacker. That's Don Thacker's daughter. She was a 4-year state championship winner, so.
What about the mental approach to pitching? I mean, coach knows you're going to pitch this game, maybe the next game. How do you mentally prepare for a pitching assignment and kind of visualize some of the hitters you're going to be facing, especially in the Federal League when you face these hitters before?
So basically, I always do one pitch at a time, and I just think every pitch has a purpose and do each thing with intention. So if I focus on that pitch, then usually it comes with a good outcome.
Yeah. What's your favorite pitch? Is it the rise ball, the change up? Tell us, not giving away any secrets here, but tell us what you like to do to attack hitters.
I definitely like curveball because it goes into the right-handed batter since I'm left-handed, and rise ball.
Talk about, Coach said, you know, when you come up as a young pitcher, sometimes you can be a little fragile because as a pitcher, you may have dominated back in middle school and travel ball. All of a sudden, you're up at the high school level, you get hit around a little bit. Did you have to kind of focus on that and say, I got to get stronger because I'm playing better players?
Yeah, I did. One major thing I've been working on is like being precise and hitting my spots, because I know if I don't hit my spots and if I'm not accurate, then the batters are going to catch on and hit the pitch.
Exactly. What about your preparation for the season? When did you start throwing after that district title game, and how much do you throw in the off season? Is there a worry about throwing too much maybe?
Yeah, so usually since I play travel ball, I'm all year round, but I usually take August off and just do whatever I want to recover from the seasons.
Obviously you love the game, or you're going to be playing it this much. How much are you going to miss it, and what are your plans after Hoover softball's over?
Yeah, so I actually committed to Malone University.
You're going to be a Pioneer.
Yep.
Did Coach talk you into that? He's a former Pioneer.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you're staying close to home. Your family and friends will get you watch you play, so that's important to you, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Well, congratulations on a tremendous career. You still got a lot of pitching left at Hoover, and best of luck at Malone. Thanks for coming over today.
Thank you.
Okay, Coach is going to stay put because you have one more young lady coming up to talk about the Vikings softball team right after this.
Ready for adventure? The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
This moment, it's a choice. To find out what you're made of. To own what's in front of you, no matter what that might be. We showed up, we're here. This moment belongs to us right now.
It's always that personal touch that they know you.
Primetime has people that can help you through every step of the way, and when you're my age, you need that extra help.
You don't want a lot of questioning when you're already dealing with a medical issue. Primetime is trying to help us get down the road as long as we can.
And if you're not in the right situation, a senior can lose everything. I feel with Primetime we picked the best program.
Well, if you just joined us, we continue to talk Hoover softball. Head coach Scott Snyder being his first year as head coach over at Hoover. He's brought 3 of his players with him. We have met 2 of them already. We have another one left to go. And Coach, have you saved the best for last or not? But why don't you introduce this young lady and what she's going to do for you this year?
You know, I don't necessarily think I can say the best for last because all 3 are just outstanding in their own way. But this is senior Ella Latowski. She's a pitcher for us. She's a right-handed pitcher. The thing that's unique about both our pitchers is they do have the ability to play in the outfield if needed, but both of these pitchers have outstanding bats. They can move the ball, they can bunt, and they will be in our lineup a lot this year swinging for us. So very versatile. Ella's got a great attitude. She loves the pitch, and she's a great athlete, and another person we're definitely excited to have on in this program.
Well, welcome to the program. I'm assuming because you can play outfield, you can hit, you're never going to leave the field, which is fun because pitchers normally, they pitch maybe and they've got to sit and watch, but you never sit, you're always playing. How much fun is that to be able to do both things during a game?
I love being able to help my team in any way that I can.
But what do you work on the most then in the off season? You're going to pitch, you know that, but you also have to get better hitting and playing defense. Tell us how much time you spend on each facet of the game.
I definitely spend most of my time pitching. I spend a lot of it hitting as well. I spend a little bit on outfield, but it's mainly pitching and hitting.
Yeah. We talked to Coach Snyder in the first segment about every young lady that excels in pitching in the Federal League and maybe all over the state always has a pitching coach that they started with. Tell us how young you were when you started with the pitching coach and how that developed you to what you are today.
I've been with Mark Hamilton since I was 8 years old.
8 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's really gave me a lot of confidence to do what I do now.
Was it always pitching, or did you just want to love softball and you just kind of decided to go into pitching?
I kind of started out everywhere, and then around 10 I really started to like pitching.
When did you get into travel ball and start facing some pretty good competition?
I was about 12 when I started travel ball, but I don't think I really played really good competition until about 8th grade. I traveled to Florida, I went to Colorado, and those really helped me to where I am now.
How much fun was it playing travel ball, and how many of the young ladies that you're playing with now at Hoover you played with through the years in travel ball?
I've played with Sienna almost all my travel ball years. I've played with a few girls that I'll play against for about 4 years, so I know them pretty well.
Tell us about also your future in softball. You're a pitcher, you're a right-hander, pitching, everybody needs pitching at the next level. What are your plans and where will we see you next year?
My plans are just to continue my academic at Ohio University.
You're going down to Ohio also to be a Bobcat. I'll tell you what, they did a good job recruiting up there at Hoover. How do you prepare for a game? You know you're going to maybe get to start a day or 2 away. You visualize some of the hitters. How do you mentally prepare for that?
I think it starts the morning of. I like to spend my day being very calm, and then before the game I like to take some time to myself to really focus on which team I'm playing and know the hitters.
Got about a minute left in the program, but when you finally hit the field on game day, you've been preparing mentally. How do you go through a routine? Are you kind of superstitious? You go through the same things every game to prepare to pitch, or tell us about your game day routine once you get to the field?
I always like to hit first, and then I'll pitch in our facility, and then I'll take a little break and just stay to myself, and then I'll pitch again. So I like to warm up twice.
Well, that's got to be a lot of fun. I know you're going to miss softball. It's been a great journey for you, but best of luck your senior year. Best of luck down in Athens for the Bobcats, and look forward to watching you play this year.
Thank you.
Coach, it all begins March 24th against Boardman. It's a grind, but I know you love it. Best of luck this year.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We're definitely excited for the season and hoping for the best.
There you go. Coach Scott Snyder began his first year as head coach at Hoover. Our thanks to them for coming over today. We're back next week with more big-time sports. And as always, have a great week.